weird combination of letters.
They're called words, Brian.
They are. How many times in your life have you seen Arachnir?
Like once when the card was spoiled, once when I looked it up, once when I wrote it down here, and now once on the screen. So like 5.
Four times in your life. Okay. This card needs Death Touch.
No, this card does not need Death Touch. This card is broken with Death Touch.
You would play so many in Jund.
I would play every one, yeah.
So next up is green. We're going to give this first one to James since he's so hooked on phonics.
Sure. This is Chainweb Arachnir.
Yes.
It's a single green mana for a 1/2 with reach. Creature Spider. When Chainweb Arachnir enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent controls.
Kill target Spectral Sailor. Check.
Yep. Or Terramander.
Check. Yes.
Scary Terry.
Yes, good job.
It also has Escape for 3 green, and exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. Chainweb Arachnir escapes with 3 +1/+1 counters on it.
Yes.
So it's a 4/5.
4/5.
That still has ETB.
Punch a thing.
Fight something in the air.
Yes. I mean, it's very good.
Very good.
It's like somewhere, like it's a little worse on the front end than Crawl Harpooner.
Right, but it's way better on the back end.
Yes.
Because it'll probably live.
Yes.
And Crawl Harpooner never lived.
Never lived.
Yeah, it always died.
Yes. Unless it was eating geese.
It's true.
I guess this can't eat a goose. So on
No,
the
that's kind of big
front end,
game.
it can't eat a goose.
Yeah.
So Crawl
didn't think
Harpooner
about
gets
that.
a goose. This doesn't get a goose.
Right.
But on the back end, it's an honest-to-God legitimate creature.
Right. It kills something, it's a threat.
Yeah. Again, like, I think in a self-mill deck, I
Mhm.
think this is A+ good times. Like, this is
Yeah.
the kind of thing you want to do.
Yeah,
like,
it belongs somewhere in the 75. I don't know
Yeah.
if you main deck them or not.
yeah, but
We
I
don't
mean,
know what the format looks like.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, just like, you know, what is it? An FTK
Mhm.
that's a 4/5
Yeah.
is great.
Yep.
Flame Tongue Kavu.
Yep.
Look it up.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I know you got me. Just for the newer folks here. All right. I heard this. I was listening to LR, and they were just like, I have no idea how any of these abilities on this card go together. This just seems
I have
like
no idea how you get all of this for 2 mana.
At uncommon?
At uncommon.
All right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Destiny Spinner?
Yep. It's 1 and a green for a 2/3 enchantment creature human.
Okay. Real quick. A 2 mana 2/3 above rate, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Significantly above rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We usually just get bears.
Right. No, this is very good.
This is a big bear.
Like what else did we have that was a 2 mana 2/3?
Green black snake.
Yeah.
Mining Constrictor, but he
Yep.
was green black.
Right. We also had
Was Sylvan Advocate a 2/3?
Sylvan Advocate was. More recently, M19, didn't we have the elf guy? When you targeted him, you made an elf.
Oh yeah,
He was
yeah,
a
yeah.
2 mana 2/3.
Thorn Lieutenant.
Thorn Lieutenant. Yep.
That also like had a big activated ability.
Yeah.
We've mentioned like 2 rares and a gold uncommon.
Right.
This is a 1 color uncommon. And then there's more.
Oh, there is more.
So creatures and enchantment spells you control can't be countered.
Whew, that's big game.
So let's say, for example, you play this on turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent, your control opponent, who did not have Essence Capture up.
Right. They just lost access to Absorb, Mystical Dispute. What else? Sinister Sabotage?
Yeah, like any counterspell in their hand is just done.
Right.
And they have to like and they can't like they either have to have a removal spell.
Mm-hmm.
They can't like Teferi bounce this because then you just replay it and they kind of got nowhere.
Right.
So there's that. But wait.
Well, let's compare this to one more thing.
Okay.
Also in Kaladesh, we had Prowling Serpapard.
Was Prowling Serpapod in?
I'm pretty sure it was Kaladesh.
That was
wasn't it?
I thought it was like Amonkhet.
It was one of the two.
1 green, 4/3 creatures spells you control can't be countered.
Right. So the static ability of this is just better than that rare.
Yes.
Because it's and enchantments.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
It has 2 less power though.
Sure.
Fine. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
3 and a green.
Mm-hmm.
Not a tap ability. Just 3 and a green.
Just 3 and a green.
Target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until the end of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It's still a land. I don't know if I want to live in a world where all of your lands from Nissa are 4/4s with trample and vigilance.
They're more than 4/4s, though, right?
Well, it depends on how many enchantments you have.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I was thinking devotion for some reason.
Yeah, I thought devotion too.
Yeah.
Whenever. So this by itself makes your lands 1/1s,
Mm-hmm.
but with a Nissa, you like tap your forest for 2 green, untap it, put 3 counters on it, get 2 more green.
Yeah.
And now you've given it +1/+1 and trample.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why this card needs to exist, and I also don't know why it needs to exist at uncommon, and I don't know how any of these abilities go together.
It's very strange.
Yeah. It seems like if it's good, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like they keep putting can't be countered on like cheaper and cheaper things.
Yeah, like when I was looking at this card, I kind of discounted the last ability.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty rare, I think, that you're going to make good use of it. Like maybe randomly you'll activate it once and it'll do something, but like it's not going to win a game for you. But a 2-mana like relevant body like this blocks mono red all day long for 2 mana, and still has game against like your control decks where it shuts off all their counter magic.
Yeah.
Like that seems great for 2 mana.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I turned your questing beast. Your questing beast also, as this added bonus, is a shifting Ceratops.
Right.
It's like, cool. I don't understand. Like, I don't think it's busted, but I just think it's just that like
it's a
subtle
solid role player.
But it's that subtle like indication of like power creep in green, where it's just like, why does it have all these abilities?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's not like the green demigod,
right?
It's not like that like flagship like green.
Yeah.
Uncommon. It's just like, here's a bunch of text.
Yeah. That really doesn't go with like anything for the limited environment, right?
Yeah, nothing for the limited environment. Like, so it seems like it's a plant for constructed, right? Where they like playing in the future league and getting their like creatures, like their Akora creatures countered, and they were like, no,
can't happen.
Can't happen. But like, what is it? Oh gosh, 1 red green, give your guys riot, they can't be countered.
Oh, Rhythm of the Wilds?
Rhythm of the Wilds. Right, like, so they were like 3 mana, do nothing, make your creatures uncounterable. And we were like, no. We were all super excited for it.
Yeah.
And then we played it and went, no. And they were like, fine. 2 mana on a body with a random activated ability. And we're like, maybe.
We'll see.
And if we say no to this, like in 3 sets, it'll be 1 green mana 3/3.
You guys will play this.
Yeah, we don't want your stuff to be countered.
It'll have flash.
All right, flash.
No, but you got to return it to your hand at the end of the turn.
It'll have flash. It'll say your creature spells can't be countered. Draw a card.
Draw.
It'll be like, did we just ban this and everything? Oh, we wanted it to like be able to block too. You like flash it in, you like block a creature.
Man, I wish my Veil of Summer could block. Have we got a card for you?
It flashes in, it fights something, and then you say your stuff can't be countered. You draw a card. It's an 8 for 1. And they're just
and
like,
it bounces back to your hand at the end of the turn.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You can never attack with it, but it's fine. All right. All right, this is This is our sexy boy of the set.
Yeah, this is a Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
Sure.
Okay. It's 2 and a green for a 2/4, and this also has random smattering of static abilities.
Yeah, it was like, hey, let's take 2 good eternal playable green cards
And mash them together.
and put them into one card.
And then put them naked in a tree.
Yeah. So imagine, if you will, if the Jolly Green Giant looked at someone and said, "Grease me up." This is what we have as our artwork here.
Yeah, this is him. It's a enchantment creature nymph.
Yes.
Did I say what it was? 2 and a green for a 2/4.
It's 2 and a green for a 2/4.
Right.
Yes.
The first line of text says, "You may play an additional land on each of your turns."
So kind of one of the lines of text from Courser of Crufix or Oracle of Moldiah.
Courser didn't let you play an additional land.
Oh, just off the top. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's Oracle of Moldiah.
Yeah, or like half an Azusa.
Half an Azusa,
or Wayward Swordtooth.
Yes. Okay.
Like all of these cards have seen play, right?
Yes, in like Eternal formats.
Right.
Yes.
The second line of text says, "Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types."
This is a 2-mana enchantment from, was it Lorwyn block?
Mm-hmm.
Prismatic Omen.
Yep, it's also Chromatic Lantern, more or less.
Yeah, well, the basic land types is important.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right, so Prismatic Omen had been played in Modern with
Mm-hmm.
Valakut, which counts the number of mountains you have.
Yeah.
Well, this makes all your lands mountains for Valakut.
It's also easier to tutor for because it's a creature.
And it's an
If that
enchantment.
matters.
It
And
does
it's an
both.
enchantment, yeah.
Right. And it also blocks target mono red deck.
Right.
It does everything that deck has ever wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, Oracle of Moldiah costs 1 extra mana, but lets you play lands off the top of your deck.
Right.
Like, you lose that ability, but you knock a mana off of it and, like, have a walking Prismatic Omen.
Yeah. And like Azusa costs the same, but it's half the size.
Yeah.
You only get to play 1 land instead of 2 with Azusa, but you gain all your lands or
you
mountains.
Get +1/+2 in all your lands or mountains. Yeah. So this seems like the play an additional land
Mm-hmm.
is just like a good standard ability,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you go this on turn 3, play your land, you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've been playing Arboreal Grazer,
Right. For basically this ability is a 1-shot.
is a 1-shot, and this is just like every turn. So like now you're just limited by how many cards can you get in your hand to put lands on the battlefield. And then I don't know why you want all your lands to be every type in standard.
Come on, yes you do.
To cast Niv Mizzet?
No, Dread Presence. Come on, man, that card's awesome.
Sure.
That card's great.
Sure. Dread Presence wants you to have swamps.
Well, swamps are part of every basic land
I understand.
type.
I'm just letting people know at home that we're trying to make the rock over here.
Well, it's the same thing that you wanted to do for Valakut, I want to do with Dread Presence.
Hey, one of those cards is playable, and one of them is Dread Presence.
Yeah, but Valakut doesn't draw you cards.
It's fine. Valakut, like, kills them immediately.
Right, but it doesn't draw you cards.
Fair.
You're the one that didn't want to shoot the board with Heliod. I just want to watch the world burn, man.
Apparently. I just want to win and go get a snack.
No. It's
Okay.
only winning if you crush them into dust first.
So, this card is interesting.
This card is bonkers.
Yeah, I don't know why you take these two, like, abilities and smush them together.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It was like, you know what? We don't think Valakut's good enough in Modern. Let's see if this does it.
Yeah.
Some of them play Prismatic Omen, yeah. I don't know. So they all play Azusa. Mm-hmm. What
Let's
if we
put 'em
took
both
all
together.
the Prismatic Omen slots and just made them half an Azusa and a Prismatic Omen? Well, that's fine. But it needs to
Probably do
block. What if red gets good? Good point.
It's a 2/4.
Blocking. 2/4.
Yeah, make
Check.
it 2/4.
Okay, we're good. We ship it.
We did it.
Put it in the card file. Can it only cost 1 green instead of 1 green? That would, yeah, fine. 2 and a green. Fine, we're good. We're good. Whew. All right.
We got another doozy here.
This card
Shouldn't exist.
is just silly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand. Nothing makes sense anymore.
What kind of world are we living in?
All right.
It's a Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Okay.
It's a 4 green, 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 so 7 mana total.
Yeah.
For a 5/5.
Okay. Smaller than Force of Nature.
True.
Okay.
Same casting cost.
Same casting cost.
Enchantment creature elemental.
Okay.
So it's an elemental and not legendary.
For reasons.
Right. So you can have multiples, obviously.
Yeah, why are there like 2 Nyx Bloom Ancients? Like, he should clearly be a legend.
It says if you tap a permanent for mana, a permanent.
Dork, rock,
Right.
land.
It produces 3 times that much mana instead. So if you tap a Llanowar elf with him on the board, it's 3 elves in a trench coat.
That it is.
Yep. If you tap a Sol Ring,
it's 6 mana.
It's 6 mana.
This card does not seem reasonable.
Right.
It thankfully costs significantly more than Nissa costs.
Right, but you can easily go Nissa this.
This is true.
And still have a bunch of mana left.
This is true. I guess a bunch.
Yeah. You go, let's see, you go 5 for Nissa, play your land for turn. You can have 12. Right?
You would untap if you played this.
If you were mono green.
Yeah, if you played
turn
this
5,
if you played this on 6, right after you Nissa'd.
Right.
Right, you would tap 4 lands. So you would make 8 mana.
Right. So you'd have 2 lands left over that each tap for 6 or for 6 apiece.
8. Because you get the 3 plus the 1 from Nissa.
Oh, gotcha.
Because the extra 1 comes from Nissa. Yep. So you would have.
Oh, does it?
It doesn't make the It
doesn't say lands produce an additional green.
From how I read it, from how I've seen it explained, is you get 3 from. I haven't checked the actual rulings, but from what I've seen it explained online, is you get 3 from this plus then 1 from Nissa.
Oh, okay.
So you'd end up with 9 total mana.
Okay.
If one of those is a breeding pool, then I just assume you play an 8/8 Crisis.
Right.
Because that is just what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't understand.
How hard do you want to ramp? That's the only question you have to ask yourself.
My thing is part of it is, all right, you play your 7 mana 5/5 Trampler. What are you ramping into after this? Like, are you like, you know?
It depends what we get in Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths.
I need to like hard cast my Emrakul. Like, what more do I want from my life?
I don't know.
I guess it's just giant Hydroid Crises for as far as the eye can see.
Could be.
And like voracious Hydras. I guess I'll eat that. This is a 2020. Go.
So if Nissa and this don't make enough mana for you, what's something else we can do?
Mana Flare? I don't know. Like, what more do you want, man?
There's an artifact in this set that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep this guy in mind when we get there.
Oh, God. So, yeah. So this guy's a big boy.
Yep.
It screams to me like it has a home in Commander somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where you just, like, play this guy and then you just, like, make all the manas and, I don't know, cast a giant Genesis Wave for 40. And, like, I don't know what you should do at that point.
Cast your deck, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, figure it out.
We'll see.
You can't find this with an Idyllic Tutor, though.
You can.
Yeah.
Yep. It is an enchantment. Keep an eye on this guy, though. If Ikoria is all big dumb stuff with behemoths and all that, that kind of incentivizes like battlecruiser magic.
Yeah.
Where people are just trying to cast the biggest thing.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how big it is as long as it's the biggest.
Bigger than whatever your opponent has cast.
Right. In which case, like, this guy really doesn't have a home right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe in, 4 months we want it for Ikoria. So if they kind of dip in the meantime, it might be a reasonable spec target if you can pick them up for a couple bucks a piece.
Yeah, it is an interesting card. It is, again, one of those cards that has a unique ability. I don't think there's any other card that says triple the amount of mana this produces.
Right.
For years, we were at 2x.
Right.
And Mark Rosewater said, "No, I want
Give that
3.
man a donut. We are now 3X.
3X, get bigger."
There was one more card I wanted to talk about with this guy that we forgot to.
Okay.
Castle Garenbrig.
Oof.
This guy makes Castle Garenbrig tap for 18 mana.
Oof. Then you tap a blue. You make a 17/17 Hydra. All things lead back to Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you can give your Voracious Hydra haste.
Well, you come with Perforos.
There you go. Just like, I'm going to make it 21/21 Voracious Hydra. Or I guess it'd be 21/22 and attack you. Did we do it?
Sure.
We did it. Okay.
We did it. Good job.
All right. Yeah, this card's nuts. I don't understand. I don't know where its home is in Standard.
Well, like I said, I don't know if it has one right now, other than making your giant Crazies even crazier. See what I did there?
It's very good. It's very good. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
The big bucks.
The big bucks. That's right. This podcast, we make like negative $12 an hour.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
We do it for the love of the game, Brian.
For the love of the game.
Yeah.
I just don't want to work and just make content. I want to be Pleasant Kenobi. Please make me Pleasant Kenobi.
No, you need a way better beard.
I need a way better beard. And I just need to like say random stuff about milk. It makes no sense. All right. Next up is the best one of these perhaps we've ever had. It's Setessan Champion.
Yep.
So 2 and a green for a 1/3 with Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Setessan Champion and draw a card.
Both?
Both.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So this is an enchantress.
Right. Usually an enchantress draws you a card when an enchantment enters the battlefield.
Or is cast. I think it depends on...
Yeah, depends on the wording.
Depends on the wording. But they're usually like 3 mana O2s.
Yeah,
or
not very threatening.
Or a 1 and a green O1 with Shroud so you can't put pants on it.
Yeah.
She's like, I came with this many pants and it's all I'm putting on, but I want to put more pants on you.
No,
pants. This many pants.
Unless it returns from the battlefield and you did not cast it.
There you go. We can work around it. So this is kind of an engine and a win condition.
Yeah.
So we had a card similar to this last time we were in Theros. Yep. Eidolon of Blossoms. It was 2 green
for a 2/2.
For a 2/2 that drew a card when you on Constellation. It drew a card when enchantment entered the battlefield.
Yep.
And that card saw all kinds of play.
I played it.
And it wasn't also your win condition.
Right.
It wasn't also just giant. It was just, I'm always a 2/2. This is, okay, I'm a 1/3. The first enchantment you cast, I'm now bigger than Eidolon of Blossoms.
You're right.
And I drew you a card. Right? You're like, turn 3 this, turn 4 enchantment, I'm officially bigger than Eidolon of Blossoms, which was played in everything.
Right. Now, we also had a whole bunch of support for like an enchantment themed block, though, with Eidolon of Blossoms. Like a whole block's worth.
Yes.
Because that didn't come out until the 3rd set of that block.
Okay.
This, we only have this set.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Constellation is going to be as good overall.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to something we've talked about before, which is it feels like in all of these one set blocks now, they are just like, well, we want a Constellation deck to be in Standard, and they just make it so.
Right, they give you all the pieces.
And so, like, maybe we're missing something.
Yeah.
But maybe the Constellation deck is just here. And it's just the point of, like, putting it together, but it exists.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Eidolon of Blossoms was an enchantment.
Yes.
So it triggered itself.
Okay.
When it entered the battlefield, you got to draw a card.
Okay.
This does not.
Yes.
You need something else.
Yeah. So, fair. I guess I forgot about it triggering itself.
Yep.
But this card is, I think, very good.
Oh, very,
if there
very
is
good,
an enchantment deck, like, you play the 2/3 that has random abilities, then this can't be countered.
Right.
And then just like
then you play the thing that lets you play extra lands. Looks like Jolly Green Giant.
You play an extra land, and then you play another enchantment, and
Right.
you're like, oh, I have a 3/5 that drew me 2 cards.
I think we didn't talk about it, but we're getting a 2-mana like Gift of Paradise also.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot here that can make this reasonable.
Yep.
And there's also a bunch of like random like enchant lands. There's one from guilds where it's like a green enchant land when it enters the battle, and the land can tap for a mana of any color, and you can sack it to draw a card. Right, so like just having like green, draw a card, put a counter on it, draw another card.
Yeah,
would be like reasonable. So there might be some like cheap green enchantments laying around that replace themselves. Like they'll let this be a thing.
Pause for station identification.
You're watching JBM. I don't have this.